Conservative Party launches its manifesto today. Reports that they're going to make more cuts to national insurance.
And he is here again, the Work and Pension Secretary. This is the fourth time that Mr Strider has been out for interviews since the election. He joins us now. Mr Strider, I've got to say, I mean, you are more than pulling your weight. You have become the trusted voice of the Conservative Party. What's happened to the rest of your colleagues? Why are you having to do all the heavy lifting yourself?
Well, can I just say a good morning? And I think that's the most generous and friendly thing you've ever said to me on your programme, actually. Nice to see you. Yes, I am out and about, and a lot of it, I have to say, is because we're talking about things that are in my area. For example, pensions like the triple pension lock, where we're going to protect pensioners from paying income tax going forward, unlike Labour, who are not going to do that and are going to see millions of pensioners paying retirement tax and getting dragged into national insurance. So that's one of the reasons I'm out and about a lot, but of course many of my colleagues are too.
Very good to see you with us again. The Times says that your manifesto is going to say, we are the party of Margaret Thatcher and Nigel Lawson, a party unlike Labour that believes in sound money. Now, can I ask you about these tax cuts today? We're told there's going to be £12 billion of savings from welfare to pay with national insurance cuts. The IFS say that it looks difficult in the extreme to get £12 billion more in welfare cuts over and above what's already been declared in the budget. Wouldn't the sound money thing to do be to wait to see if you can get the welfare savings? And isn't the irresponsible thing to do to decide now, before you've got the savings, to promise tax cuts?
So let's just talk about welfare for a minute, Ed, because this is really important. People expect a welfare system to be fair to the most vulnerable and those who need help. They expect those that can work and are able to work and for which there is work to get into work rather than relying on benefits, and we're dealing with those things. But they also expect a system that is sustainable and fair to the taxpayer. Now, what we know is if you take the working age people on benefits who have a health or disability element to those benefits, that has a cost at the moment of £69 billion at the moment. That is forecast to rise to £90 billion in 5 years' time. So that's an increase of £21 billion. If we can hold, as we believe that we can, and even better, the level, the caseload as it is today, that would be a £14 billion saving in 5 years' time. And if we were back at the levels that we were pre-COVID, we would be looking at a £35 billion reduction in that benefits bill. And I think any party such as Labour who throw their arms up in the air and says, oh, we shouldn't be tackling this, it's totally unrealistic, etc., are basically saying to the British people they're prepared to see our benefits bills spiralling in an unsustainable way and taxpayers picking up the tab. And we don't think that's right. So that 12 billion figure is very cautious, very achievable, and indeed will give us more scope to do other things with that. But you'll have to wait for the manifesto to see exactly what those steps are.
I understand that, but our viewers will absolutely want you to get the welfare bill under control. The problem is the Institute for Fiscal Studies say...
So why are Labour saying they're not interested?
I don't know. I mean, we'll ask them that when we have them on the programme tomorrow. But just asking you, the Institute for Fiscal Studies say that of the 7 things which you were talking about over the weekend, 4 of them are already in the fiscal numbers. 3 of them, it's not clear that you can get savings, and they say that it looks difficult in the extreme to get these welfare savings. Now, look, all power to your elbow, get the welfare bill under control. The question I'm asking is it a sound money thing to spend the money on tax cuts before you've even banked the welfare savings? That's the thing which feels a bit Liz Truss-like, a bit Jeremy Corbynish.
Well, Ed, you're a former Treasury man. You understand these things. You know how it works. You have
We'd never let you get away with this.
Yeah, you have figures going forward. Well, no. In fact, as we went into the 2015 election, I think we made various pledges on getting welfare down, which we then went on to deliver on. But look, what we're looking at here is that, yes, a number of measures that we've already come forward with, for example, reforming the work capability assessment, which the OBR says will mean 424,000 fewer people on long-term sickness and disability benefits in the future are indeed baked into the scorecard.
Exactly.
But it is not, yes, and I've just said that. But there are many things that are not, and in fact, Jonathan Ashworth suggested that a number of these were baked in when they're not, such as, for example, we are currently consulting on PIP, that's personal independence payments, and we are coming forward with mental health support measures, including a massive increase, 50% increase to over 500,000 of talking therapies within the NHS. That is not in the scorecard, nor are the mental health support teams for all schools across the country, nor are the fraud measures that we're going to legislate for in the next Parliament. So there are a whole group of things here that are not baked into the OBR numbers and will drive those reductions. And as I say, I've set the context of a spiralling bill. I've pointed out that even if we held the caseload at the level it is today, even if we did that, just didn't grow it any further, we would smash that target very considerably.
So let me ask you, Malstride, taxes are up. The thresholds have been frozen since 2022. More people paying more tax. NHS waiting lists are up. Net immigration is up. Also up is an increase in knife crime. And the shocking story today of two 12-year-olds able to get hold of a machete and murder a young man. Under your government, why are we in a situation where children get machetes and kill?
So this is an absolute tragedy, and my heart goes out to all of those who will have been deeply affected by this, to the friends and family of the person concerned. What I would say on this is we have to be tough on knife crime, and that is exactly what we're doing, and we're doing it in various different ways. One is to make it very clear where the law stands on the possession of a knife. Secondly is to make the punishments for actually carrying those kind of weapons more severe, so it's more of a deterrent. The third thing is to give the police the appropriate powers to intervene to stop young people carrying these weapons. And the final thing I would say is police numbers.
The latest figures show an increase in possession, an increase of robberies with knives, and an overall increase in knife crime. You're the government that's been in power for 14 years.
So much of that, actually, the worst cases of this, what you're describing, are actually in London, where Sadiq Khan, a Labour mayor, is in charge of these matters. But
this murder happened in Wolverhampton. This murder happened in Wolverhampton.
No, but you were talking...
Yeah, but we're talking about this case happened in Wolverhampton, and the mayor of Wolverhampton, Andy Street, West Midlands, was Conservative. So you can't make it about the mayors. This is under your government.
Well, I think I can, to the extent that there are figures across those particular regions, and I'm just pointing out that they are particularly bad in London. But the point that I was going to go on to make was that...
Would you blame the mayor of West Midlands, Andy Street, previous mayor of West Midlands, Andy Street, for this? Is that what you're saying?
No, certainly not. And I wouldn't blame anybody for any individual set of tragic circumstances. Clearly not.
But the point that I'm trying to make is that Sadiq Khan, whereas this is overall figures across the country under your government.
I'm just pointing out that the general level of knife crime in London is particularly high, and there is a responsibility there that the Labour Party has in that particular area. But the point that I'm trying to come on to is really important that we invest in our police, that we get sufficient police out on the beat. We have hit our target of recruiting 20,000 additional police officers, and what you will hear in our manifesto shortly is that we intend to go still further in making sure that we have appropriate police, and something called hotspot policing, which is where you focus on these particular areas. We've been piloting this, and we're going to be rolling that out more strongly right across the country. But we'll have more to say about that in the manifesto.
Was it a mistake for your government to cut 21,000 police officers originally?
Well, we went through a very difficult period in 2010 onwards. You'll remember that note from the previous Labour Chief Secretary to the Treasury saying, I'm sorry, there is no money left. And that was the reality of what we had to recover from. That's what... Well, hold on. What they did do is have much higher levels of overall crime. Crime in our country has dropped by over 50% if you exclude fraud and online crime. It's actually down very dramatically. And that's because of the policies that this government has brought in, including an investment in our police.
Mel Stride, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Mr. Stride. And we'll see you back on the programme probably Thursday, Friday?
Or tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Can I just say you're always welcome.
Always a...
But we were quite
always a pleasure, Ed. Always a pleasure.
We were quite destabilised by you wearing that coat, though. We prefer you in your normal suit.
Noted. I'll try and do better next time.
Great. Good luck with the manifesto launch this morning.